Sailboat Coaching with Terry. Check it out. Thank you. I am so happy to have you back. You've been on my show before, and now I get the opportunity to have a conversation with you again and see what you've been up to. So since the last conversation we had a few years ago you were doing sailboat coaching. Now you've been doing a whole lot of things since. So tell us, I know one of the things you've been doing recently is you had a TEDx talk. Tell us about that.
Very true. Well, it's great to be back, Francesca. It's great to be interviewed with you again. Yeah, the TEDx talk was great, and this idea, or this group of ideas, is something I've been working on for a number of years, and it wasn't working out, and I started to wonder how long it would take to actually materialize. And then it really landed in my lap at the last minute. And I tore down my script with, I think, 8 days left to talk day. And I feel like we have something that the audience is going to connect with.
So tell us, what was the talk about?
The talk was about, okay, so you know that I coach people on sailboats. And there's a moment in sailing when you have chosen a new course and you have trimmed the sails. Your team is in position, they're at the ready, and you turn the wheel. And if there isn't a lot of wind, nothing happens. And if you've asked somebody to turn the wheel for you, they're going, did I do something wrong? Is the boat broken? And I tell them, just give it a minute. It is already happening. And if you just stand there in your quiet confidence that you've done all of the things, the boat will come around, we will catch the sails, and you'll be off to your new destination. And what I've done is I've taken that moment of quiet confidence and I've applied it to relationships and business and life. And that's what the talk is about.
Okay, so tell me about this particular moment that you're describing, just that moment where nothing's happened. You've been putting all this work into getting the wind into the sails and then nothing happens. So what's so important about that?
What's important about that is, I mean, this is as true for me as it is for the people that I coach. It is easy in that moment to go, I should be doing something. I should be working really hard at something, even if I don't know what it is, even if I'm getting in my own way or messing things up. There's a time to just breathe, to just be, and to let the universe drench you in its goodness, and to recognize those moments when they're here.
Okay, so can you give me an example of how that translates on an actual real example in life? Because I know sometimes like we work. Is that kind of similar to when we say we give up too soon? Maybe we work and then we give up. Is that kind of the same thing? Or is it just do everything that needs to be done and then just be patient and wait?
It's more the patient and wait. And in fact, this is the talk to me as well. And so now that at the time that we're recording this interview, my TEDx talk has been recorded but not released. And there's the part of me who wants to just go more and go faster and do things. And that part of me could easily get in my way. This is a time for me to rest and to relax and to be ready for the good things that are going to come into my life and for the good things that I have the chance to soon share with people because of this talk.
Cool. Now, since the last time we spoke, free range coaching is something that now you tell us about that.
Okay, so this, I mean, almost by accident came into my life. But as the founder of Sailboat Coaching International, people would often people would reach out to me and they would say, okay, so I'm thinking about taking somebody up in a hot air balloon to coach them in a hot air balloon. Do you think that could work? And I would go, well, what do you think? And they go, yeah, I really want to do that. And I go, okay, well, let's workshop it. Let's play with some ideas. And then I would get another call from somebody who would say, I really want to just take people into the forest and hunt for mushrooms. And then we would toy with an idea and they would go do it. I want to take my clients and I want to cook with them and experience food and energy while coaching them. And eventually I realized I need to take all of these amazing people who are reaching out and connecting with me and connect them to each other. And the free range coach movement was born out of these people.
So it's a collaboration between different coaches working together to create experiential coaching, which is basically a hands-on. So it's not just a sit down and listen and learn. It's actually hands-on and practical.
Right. Yeah, the experiential part is really important. Often coaching is just a two-way sort of thing between a client and a coach, and you're trying to create something and often succeed at creating something that's magical between two people. But the experience, whether it's the ocean or the forest or a river, often these experiences are in nature, in a peak location. It adds a three-dimensionality to the whole experience where the coach and the client and the nature are building something that couldn't be built if one of those elements was missing.
Yeah. And one of the cool things about that is that you retain the lesson better. It goes deeper, it goes down to a cellular level versus just into the brain and then trying to apply it, right? So it's more effective.
It is more effective. We don't just learn with our minds, we learn with our hearts and our bodies. I've been reading about soma, somatic coaching, which is the Greek all-togetherness. And yeah, clients, humans, love to experience life when they're really in it, when their heart is engaged, when their bodies are alive, and their mind is absorbing new and exciting things.
Now, I know that your coaching has been or still is about worthiness, finding your own worthiness, but you also have shifted into team building. So, question is, when we're talking about team building, is it about do you work with a team or do you work with an individual on how to work with a team?
Right, yes. I mean, certainly in my individual coaching with my one-on-one clients, I would work with them on how to be more effective and more engaging with their teams. But what team building is in the sailboat coaching context is a space that we've created on the sailboat where you could bring your team from your business or for your nonprofit to really take a couple of days or even a week, if we can get it, to dive into your communication and your engagement styles and how you interact to make your team more effective, more efficient, and more fun to work with.
What's one thing that you want our viewers, listeners listening to us right now, what is it that you want them to know more about or have them understand more about what you're doing and what you're trying to, what you want to achieve with your clients?
Mm-hmm. You mentioned worthiness coaching earlier, and that in some ways also came to me by accident because I was very intentionally coaching people to design the life that they want. And we have a world now where it's easier and there are more options than ever before to design whatever you can imagine. And that type of client, and in fact, I think most of my types of clients, whether it's team building or one-on-one, it always seems to come back to the idea of worthiness, that you are worth putting the work in for, that you are worth creating a life that's magic. You are worth living the experience of the life the way that you want it. I want people who listen to this interview, I want your people to know that they are worthy and that what they want is available if they're willing to invest in themselves.
Invest in yourself. Speaking of, where can people reach you?
The TEDx talk will be on my YouTube, which is TerryTheSailboatCoach, all one word. And my website, which connects to all of my other stuff that's going on, is sailboatcoachinginternational.com.